Did you know that after age 60, you're losing up to 1 pound of muscle mass every year, and this silent condition could be destroying your independence faster than any other health issue? In this video, I'll reveal the 7 specific foods scientifically proven to combat sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, that can help you maintain and even rebuild critical muscle mass well into your 80s and 90s. One of these powerful foods actually activates a cellular pathway that can stimulate muscle growth even without exercise, and most doctors never mention it to their patients. Harold, at 89, was using a walker and needed help standing from his chair until his geriatric specialist recommended these specific muscle-building foods. Within just 10 weeks, he could stand unassisted and even began taking short walks without support. His family was amazed at the transformation that came primarily from changing what was on his plate. Food. 1. High-quality protein sources. Focus on leucine. Why does the specific protein you eat matter more than how much you consume after 60? This question becomes critical once you understand what happens to your body after 6 decades of life. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that seniors need 25-30 grams of high-quality protein per meal, with special emphasis on leucine-rich sources to overcome anabolic resistance that develops after age 60. This resistance means your muscles become less responsive to protein intake, requiring both more total protein and specifically higher amounts of the amino acid leucine to stimulate muscle maintenance and growth. The scientific evidence is clear that this change in protein metabolism is a major factor in sarcopenia that most seniors never address properly, largely because conventional dietary advice fails to emphasize the importance of protein quality and distribution throughout the day. Diane incorporated leucine-rich protein at breakfast and regained enough leg strength to climb stairs without gripping the railing after just 6 weeks. Her morning routine had always included a small breakfast of toast and coffee, providing virtually no protein when her body needed it most. Without sufficient leucine in your diet, your body cannot effectively build or maintain muscle mass, regardless of other healthy habits. This biological reality explains why many active seniors still experience declining strength despite regular physical activity. The missing nutritional component prevents their bodies from responding optimally to exercise. When muscle protein synthesis remains inadequate, even regular activity cannot prevent the progressive weakness that threatens independence. Include 3 to 4 ounces of leucine-rich protein sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or lean meat at each meal. This approach ensures your body receives the critical threshold of leucine needed to trigger muscle protein synthesis throughout the day. For breakfast, consider 2 eggs with Greek yogurt, which provides an excellent leucine profile. At lunch, include a palm-sized portion of chicken, tuna, or cottage cheese. For dinner, incorporate lean meat, fish, or a combination of plant proteins like beans and rice to complete your daily requirements. Remember that timing matters. Spreading protein intake across all meals is far more effective than consuming the same total amount primarily at dinner, as many seniors typically do. Every day without optimal protein intake accelerates muscle loss that becomes increasingly difficult to reverse. The progressive nature of sarcopenia means that catching it early and addressing it consistently yields the best results. So implementing these protein strategies today is an investment in your continued mobility and independence. The consequences of delay grow more serious with each passing week, while the benefits of proper protein nutrition begin to appear within the first month of consistent implementation. Food 2, omega-3, rich fish. Are you missing the one nutrient that reduces muscle inflammation and doubles the effectiveness of your protein intake? Most seniors focus entirely on protein when thinking about muscle health, overlooking this critical component that dramatically enhances results. Harvard Medical School researchers discovered that omega-3 fatty acids reduce muscle-damaging inflammation and enhance muscle protein synthesis by up to 120% in adults over 60. This remarkable finding explains why some cultures with high fish consumption demonstrate better muscle preservation with aging, despite lower overall protein intake. The omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA work through multiple mechanisms to protect muscle tissue, reducing inflammatory signals that accelerate breakdown, improving insulin sensitivity within muscle cells, and enhancing mitochondrial function for better energy production during activity. Thomas added 2 servings of fatty fish weekly and noticed significant improvements in his grip strength and ability to carry groceries within a month. His experience mirrors what clinical studies consistently show. The anti-inflammatory and protein-enhancing effects of omega-3s can produce noticeable functional improvements relatively quickly. Chronic muscle inflammation silently accelerates sarcopenia, making even basic daily activities increasingly difficult. This inflammation increases naturally with age, but becomes particularly problematic when combined with the typical Western diet that contains excessive omega-6 fatty acids and insufficient omega-3s. The resulting imbalance creates a pro-inflammatory environment that continuously signals your muscles to break down faster than they rebuild, regardless of other healthy habits. Consume wild-caught salmon, mackerel, or sardines twice weekly to provide sufficient omega-3s for muscle protection. These specific fish varieties offer the highest concentrations of the most beneficial omega-3 fatty acids in forms most readily used by your body. When selecting salmon, opt for wild-caught varieties whenever possible, as they typically contain significantly higher omega-3 levels than farmed alternatives. For those who find fish preparation challenging, canned sardines or salmon, with bones for additional calcium, provide convenient alternatives that require no cooking. For maximum benefit, prepare these fish using gentle cooking methods like baking or poaching rather than high-heat frying, which can damage some of the beneficial compounds. Start incorporating these foods immediately, as the anti-inflammatory benefits begin protecting your muscles within days. Unlike some nutritional interventions that require weeks or months to show effects, the anti-inflammatory action of omega-3s begins almost immediately upon reaching adequate levels in your tissues. This rapid response makes omega-3-rich fish one of the most time-efficient dietary strategies for protecting and enhancing muscle function in older adults, providing both immediate and long-term benefits for maintaining strength and mobility. Food 3. Vitamin D-rich foods. The surprising reason vitamin D deficiency may be destroying your muscle function right now relates to its fundamental role in muscle physiology that extends far beyond what most people realize. According to research from Johns Hopkins Medicine, vitamin D directly activates genes involved in muscle growth and repair, with deficiency affecting over 80% of seniors and decreasing muscle function by up to 45%. This staggering statistic helps explain the epidemic of weakness and mobility problems among older adults living in northern climates or spending limited time outdoors. Vitamin D receptors are found throughout muscle tissue, allowing this nutrient to function almost like a hormone that regulates critical aspects of muscle function. When levels fall below optimal, muscles gradually lose their ability to contract effectively, maintain proper tone, and recover from daily use, regardless of how much you exercise or how well you eat otherwise. Barbara's doctor discovered her severe vitamin D deficiency was the primary cause of her recent weakness and falling episodes. Despite maintaining an otherwise healthy lifestyle with regular walking and a balanced diet, her indoor lifestyle in a northern state had depleted her vitamin D levels over several years. Without adequate vitamin D, your muscles cannot effectively contract or generate force, regardless of their size or your exercise habits. This biological reality explains why some seniors experience declining strength and coordination that seems mysterious or is attributed simply to aging, when a specific nutritional deficiency is actually responsible. The muscles essentially remain in a state of partial hibernation, unable to fully respond to neural signals or generate optimal force during everyday activities. Regularly consume vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified milk or mushrooms, ideally combined with brief, safe sun exposure. While sun exposure remains the body's natural method for producing vitamin D, dietary sources become increasingly important for seniors due to reduced skin production capacity and limited outdoor time. Include fatty fish like salmon or mackerel twice weekly, which provides the dual benefit of both omega-3s and significant vitamin D. Add egg yolks to breakfast several times weekly, preferably from pasture-raised chickens that produce eggs with higher vitamin D content. Consider ultraviolet-exposed mushrooms, which contain remarkably high levels of vitamin D2 that can significantly contribute to overall status. For those in northern climates, combine these dietary strategies with 10-15 minutes of midday sun exposure on arms and legs several times weekly when possible. Check your vitamin D levels at your next doctor's appointment, as correcting deficiency can improve muscle function within weeks. Request specific testing for 25-hydroxyvitamin D, the most accurate measure of vitamin D status, and discuss the results in detail with your healthcare provider. Many conventional labs consider levels adequate that are actually far too low for optimal muscle function, especially for older adults. Aim for the higher end of the reference range, typically 40-60 ml, rather than merely avoiding severe deficiency. Taking this proactive approach to vitamin D optimization provides one of the most reliable methods for enhancing muscle function and reducing fall risk as you age. Food 4. Magnesium-rich foods. Did you know that this common mineral deficiency causes muscle cramps, weakness, and prevents proper muscle contraction? Most conversations about muscle health focus exclusively on protein, while overlooking this critical mineral that fundamentally enables muscle function. Research from Tufts University Nutrition Center shows that magnesium deficiency affects over 60% of older adults and directly impairs muscle performance and energy production at the cellular level. This widespread deficiency exists despite adequate intake on paper, largely due to factors that reduce absorption or increase excretion, including certain common medications, digestive changes with aging, and reduced kidney function. Magnesium serves as a cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many directly involved in energy production and muscle contraction. Without sufficient levels, your muscles cannot efficiently convert food into usable energy or properly regulate the calcium influx needed for contraction. Richard eliminated his persistent muscle cramps and regained significant energy for daily activities after increasing his magnesium intake through specific foods. His experience reflects what research consistently shows, that addressing magnesium status often resolves mysterious muscle problems that have been incorrectly attributed to aging alone. Magnesium deficiency forces your muscles to work harder while producing less force, accelerating fatigue and weakness. This inefficiency creates a vicious cycle where activities become more exhausting, leading to reduced activity levels, which further decreases muscle mass and strength. The energy production systems within your muscle cells, particularly the mitochondria, require magnesium to function properly. When deficient, these energy factories produce less ATP, the cellular energy currency, while generating more damaging free radicals, accelerating both fatigue and long-term muscle damage. Add magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and beans to your daily diet, aiming for at least one serving at each meal. Spinach, Swiss chard, and other dark greens provide excellent bioavailable magnesium, along with additional muscle-supporting nutrients. Incorporate a handful of pumpkin seeds, almonds, or cashews as a daily snack to boost intake significantly. Include beans or legumes several times weekly, which provide sustained-release magnesium along with beneficial fiber and plant protein. For maximum absorption, pair magnesium-rich foods with healthy fats and avoid consuming them with high-calcium foods or beverages, which can compete for absorption. Remember that cooking methods matter. Steaming or quickly sautéing greens preserves more magnesium than boiling, which can leach this mineral into cooking water. Don't delay improving your magnesium status, as this simple change can enhance muscle function almost immediately. The rapid response to improved magnesium nutrition makes this one of the most time-efficient strategies for enhancing energy, reducing cramps, and improving overall muscle performance. Many seniors notice meaningful improvements within the first week of consistently including magnesium-rich foods, with benefits continuing to accumulate over subsequent months as tissue levels optimize. Food 5. Antioxidant-rich berries. How muscle-damaging oxidative stress accelerates sarcopenia and the colorful foods that combat it is a crucial concept for preserving strength as you age. Studies from the USDA Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging show that the antioxidants in berries significantly reduce oxidative damage to muscle tissue, which increases by up to 50% after age 60. This accelerated oxidative damage largely explains why muscle loss speeds up in later decades, despite consistent habits. The aging process naturally increases production of damaging free radicals within muscle cells, while simultaneously decreasing your body's internal antioxidant defenses. This imbalance creates the perfect storm for accelerated muscle damage and insufficient repair, resulting in progressive weakness that seems inevitable but is actually modifiable with specific nutritional interventions. Marion incorporated a daily serving of mixed berries and noticed improved recovery and less soreness after her usual garden activities. Her experience demonstrates what research consistently confirms, that dietary antioxidants provide meaningful protection against the excessive muscle damage that occurs with aging. Unchecked oxidative stress damages muscle cell membranes and mitochondria, accelerating muscle loss regardless of protein intake. This fundamental mechanism explains why even seniors with excellent protein nutrition may continue experiencing sarcopenia if they lack adequate antioxidant protection. The mitochondria, your cellular energy factories, are particularly vulnerable to oxidative damage. When compromised, they produce less energy for muscle contraction while simultaneously releasing more damaging free radicals, creating a vicious cycle of declining function and accelerated breakdown. Consume a variety of colorful berries daily, including blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries, preferably fresh or frozen without added sugar. The diverse antioxidant compounds in different berries work synergistically to provide broader protection than any single variety alone. Add a half-cup serving to your breakfast routine through addition to cereal, yogurt, or smoothies. Keep frozen berries available year-round as an economical and convenient option that retains nearly all the antioxidant benefits of fresh varieties. For maximum benefit, consume berries with a small amount of healthy fat, which enhances absorption of certain antioxidant compounds. Consider preparing a weekly berry mix combining several varieties that you can easily portion out each morning, removing a common barrier to consistent consumption. Start protecting your muscles from oxidative damage today, as this protection is especially critical during periods of increased activity. The cumulative nature of oxidative damage means that consistent daily protection yields significantly better results than occasional high intake. By establishing this simple habit now, you invest in both immediate recovery benefits and long-term preservation of muscle function and integrity. The antioxidant protection provided by berries operates continuously when maintained at adequate levels, creating an ongoing shield against the excessive free radical damage that would otherwise accelerate muscle loss. Food 6. Potassium-rich. Foods is potassium deficiency silently weakening your muscles and increasing your fall risk right now? This critical question receives far too little attention in discussions about maintaining strength and mobility with age. Research from the American Heart Association reveals that adequate potassium is essential for proper muscle contraction, with deficiency increasing fall risk by 30% in adults over 65. This startling statistic reflects potassium's fundamental role in creating the electrical gradients necessary for muscle activation and contraction. Without sufficient levels, muscles cannot properly respond to nerve signals, resulting in weakness, fatigue, and potentially dangerous coordination problems. Despite its importance, many seniors consume less than half the recommended potassium intake, often due to reduced caloric needs, medication effects, and dietary patterns low in fruits and vegetables. Elizabeth struggled with muscle weakness until her doctor identified low potassium as a contributing factor and recommended specific dietary changes. Like many seniors, she had focused primarily on reducing sodium intake per conventional advice, without ensuring adequate potassium consumption, creating an imbalance that directly impacted muscle function. Without sufficient potassium, your muscles cannot maintain proper electrical activity, leading to weakness, fatigue, and potential heart issues. This electrolyte imbalance explains why some seniors experience fluctuating strength levels that seem mysterious. Their muscle cells cannot consistently generate the electrical potentials needed for contraction. The sodium-potassium pump, which maintains proper electrical gradients across muscle cell membranes, requires adequate supplies of both minerals to function properly, with potassium being particularly critical for recovery after activity. Include potassium-rich foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, and avocados in your daily meals, aiming for at least 2 to 3 servings daily. This consistent intake helps maintain the stable potassium levels needed for optimal neuromuscular function. Start your day with a banana or avocado toast to establish an early potassium foundation. Include a sweet potato or generous serving of leafy greens at lunch to sustain levels through afternoon activities. Add tomatoes, beans, or squash to your dinner to complete your daily intake. For maximum benefit, distribute these potassium-rich foods throughout the day, rather than consuming them primarily at one meal, which helps maintain more consistent levels for ongoing muscle function. Remember that processing and cooking methods matter. Steaming vegetables preserves more potassium than boiling, where significant amounts can leach into cooking water. Begin increasing your potassium intake immediately through these foods to support proper muscle function and overall health. The electrical nature of muscle contraction means that improvements in potassium status often produce noticeable functional benefits within days of achieving adequate levels. By addressing this often overlooked aspect of muscle nutrition now, you support not only your strength and coordination, but also cardiovascular health and blood pressure regulation, creating multiple benefits from this single nutritional strategy. Food 7. Creatine-containing foods. The overlooked nutrient in certain foods that enhances muscle energy production and strength that most seniors know nothing about could be the missing link in your muscle maintenance strategy. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, dietary creatine increases muscle energy reserves and improves strength performance by up to 15% in older adults, especially when combined with light resistance activities. This significant performance enhancement occurs because creatine serves as an immediate energy source for rapid muscle contractions, effectively extending the period before fatigue sets in during activity. While often associated with younger athletes, research clearly demonstrates that older adults actually show more dramatic functional improvements from optimizing creatine stores. This enhanced response occurs because seniors typically begin with lower baseline levels due to reduced dietary intake and diminished natural production, creating greater room for improvement when levels are restored. Frank incorporated creatine-rich foods into his diet and was surprised at how much easier his daily activities became within just 3 weeks. His experience mirrors what clinical studies consistently show: that optimizing creatine stores can quickly translate into noticeable improvements in strength, endurance, and recovery. Without adequate creatine, your muscles quickly deplete their energy reserves during activity, limiting strength and endurance regardless of muscle size. This energy depletion explains why many seniors experience rapid fatigue during activities they previously performed with ease, even when their muscles appear relatively preserved. The phosphocreatine system provides the immediate energy needed for short bursts of activity like rising from a chair, climbing stairs, or catching yourself when momentarily off balance. Precisely the functional movements most critical for maintaining independence. Include natural sources of creatine like lean red meat, wild-caught fish, and poultry in your weekly meal planning, focusing on quality sources. While red meat provides the highest concentration, with approximately 5 grams per pound, regular consumption of fish and poultry also contributes meaningfully to overall creatine status. Aim for 3 to 4 ounces of these protein sources daily, which provides the dual benefit of creatine and high-quality protein for muscle maintenance. When selecting meat, opt for leaner cuts from grass-fed sources when possible, which typically contain higher creatine levels along with better overall nutrient profiles. For fish, include varieties like cod, salmon, and herring several times weekly, which provide excellent creatine content along with beneficial omega-3 fatty acids that further support muscle health. Start optimizing your muscle energy systems today with these simple dietary additions that can improve function almost immediately. The rapid response to improved creatine status makes this one of the most time-efficient nutritional strategies for enhancing functional strength in daily activities. Many seniors notice meaningful improvements within the first month of consistently including creatine-rich foods, with benefits continuing to accumulate as muscle creatine stores fully optimize over subsequent weeks. These 7 strategic foods work together to address the multiple factors contributing to age-related muscle loss, providing a comprehensive approach that can help maintain strength and function well into advanced age. By incorporating high-quality protein with sufficient leucine, omega-3-rich fish, vitamin D sources, magnesium-rich foods, antioxidant berries, potassium-rich produce, and natural creatine sources, you create the optimal nutritional environment for preserving and even rebuilding critical muscle tissue. The most encouraging aspect is how quickly many seniors experience noticeable improvements in strength, endurance, and overall function when consistently implementing these dietary strategies. Which of these muscle-supporting foods do you plan to add to your diet first? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear which strategies work best for you and what improvements you notice in your strength and mobility. If you know other seniors struggling with declining strength or mobility, please share this video with them right away. The information could literally help preserve their independence and quality of life. Don't forget to subscribe for more science-based strategies to maintain your health and vitality throughout your golden years.